Hello, everybody. It's Andre McClendon, and today, guys, we had some very amazing slash like crazy news. Like this is unbelievable. So Donald Trump was found guilty in historic news. Like I think this is all across the board. This is like historic. I'm gonna play some clips, go through some information about it, and get you guys up to date, exposing the idea. Exposing what's happening with former President Trump. Now, this is not me saying that, I'm pro-Trump or I'm against Biden. This is just exposing the news, what's happening in his predicament, updating you guys with this. I will be adding this to my playlist of, exposing politicians with my traders and investors. So I'm going to dive right into it, guys. If any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section. We'll get that conversation going. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get the channel to 10,000 subscribers, and let's begin.
This is the first time a former president has been convicted of a crime. NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss joins us now. Michael, how do you begin to put this moment into context?
Well, this is almost surreal, Lester. We'll all remember where we were when we got this news today. And that's because, as you've been saying, first time anyone who's been president has been convicted of criminal conduct, and also someone who, 6 weeks from this day, just about, Donald Trump is likely to be nominated by the Republicans as their presidential candidate.
And also, there's some parts that most people are, haven't thought about this at a different angle, is that if it's happening to President Trump, it can happen to any previous president, including President Biden, if he just say he doesn't win next election. So this is a crazy time that we're going through, like real crazy. Let's play some more.
It's going to be divisive. A lot of people will be angry. 50 years ago this summer, the Supreme Court told President Richard Nixon he had to give up his secret tapes. They showed that he was probably guilty of a number of criminal offenses. Gerald Ford pardoned him, but Gerald Ford, the new president, respected the rule of law. He didn't say the system was rigged. What Gerald Ford said in his inaugural address was, this is a system that shows that this is a government of laws and not of human beings. The people rule.
Is this a political front? Is this all being done just because Trump is most likely going to win? There's a lot of things that can be said, but the amount of indictments and the amount of cases he has, I'm going to show you guys in a couple clips. This stuff is just literally crazy.
This obviously, Michael, is not in isolation. This is occurring during a historically difficult time. And
yeah, right before the election. Kind of odd. Like, come on now.
In terms of division in this country, is there a historical analogy about how the country might move forward from this moment?
Well, for more than 2 centuries, we've had a lot of very controversial legal verdicts before the Civil War, at the time of the Cold War. You and I could list them for the next 3 hours. But the point is that here we are still standing. We're still a republic. The DNA of America is to respect the rule of law.
The rule of law, like just him saying that, like with all the shenanigans that's been happening with our government, we got a very different type of rule of law. We have a politicized rule of law. Best way I'm going to say it, and keep it that way.
Even if we disagree with it, there can be peaceful protest. Guilty party can appeal, but in the end, we always respect the rule of law. That's the essence of our country.
All right. Appreciate your perspective as always, Michael. Thank you.
Now, that's the breaking news from CNN. NBC News. And it's interesting how they have that case. I'm going to show you guys some other stuff that's pretty interesting. We're going to go through Trump's, what he talked about right after the...
This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial.
Now, I think other people probably disagree. Some people other agree. And this is a really politically charged thing. So even finding a jury that can look over this is going to be very, very hard, because Like we have so much. There's so many. Like it's so hard to find someone who's not who knows Trump, who feels X amount of way. So before they even get picked, it's going to be hard to pick a jury for him. And the jury, I mean, obviously they chose guilty on this, but it's just how it is. We live in a very politically charged environment right now.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and It's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess.
I would say there's some parts I agree with. We are living in a lot of division. I mean, I think many Americans can state that. I mean, he says some other things that are interesting. That I'm not trying to make this so like, hey, I'm for or against. I'm just bringing out this exposure so you guys shed this to light. So if you didn't know,
nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now, from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Well, that's words from Trump, so former President Trump. So, I mean, obviously he's not happy about the decision. Let's go into a little bit more. Pause on that. Here is the Manhattan DA with Trump guilty conviction.
And what started off as a quiet day two of jury deliberations took a 180.
Folks, I want to thank the jury for its service. Jurors perform a fundamental civic duty. Their service is literally the cornerstone of our judicial system. We should all be thankful for the careful attention that this jury paid to the evidence and the law, and their time and commitment over these past several weeks. 12 everyday New Yorkers, and of course, our alternates, heard testimony from 22 witnesses, including former and current employees of the defendant, media executives, book publishers, custodians of records, and others. They reviewed call logs, text messages, and emails.
All of this right before the election. I know, I just find it kind of interesting, guys. This is like really, it's like we're living right. It's like all this craziness is happening, and like being a part of this at this time is just more eye-opening. All right, let's go to this over here, guys. Give me a second. So, what do you guys need to know? I found this kind of thing. I'm on CNN politics, let you guys know, prior to even going to that route. What do you need to know? Manhattan jury found him guilty on all 34 counts. Judge Merchant sentencing. So we won't hear sentencing until July 11th. So that'll be another update. Guess what? I have that on there. So let's see. Trump's sentence is up to the judge and could include prison time or probation. Prosecutors accused Trump of taking part of a legal conspiracy to undermine the integrity of the 2016 presidential election and an unlawful plan to suppress negative information, which included concealing a hush money payment to an adult film star. Seems like they put a lot into this. They got a lot of stuff. A felony conviction of a former president or party frontrunner is unprecedented, but Trump, who is the 2024 presumption of GOP nominee, can still run for office. Guilty, all 34. Now I found this on Political. I thought it was pretty cool, or not just just interesting to go through the legal tracking of the Trump case. So here it says indictments. federal election interference case, the Georgia election interference case, and classified documents case. And we got the trial of the hush money. So here's his breakdown where it's at. The hush money case is obviously it's already had the verdict, and the appeal process. They're going to obviously appeal it. Here's the charges: 34 counts of New York penalty law, the strengths and weaknesses. I mean, I was going through this. I thought this was pretty nice how they built this out. So if you guys are looking at all the court cases, you want to know more about them, just go through here. They have it really built out nicely. Now, could it be a little bit biased? It possibly is, but just breaking it down a little bit more so people can understand. So the federal election interference case in the 2 months election day in 2020, January 6th, Trump mounted a wide-range campaign to subvert Joe Biden's victory. Oh, man, that's funny right there. But I'm not going to get down that route. So the status is indictment, the trial, and the verdict. Let's see. Smith's January 6th. He has 2 felony counts, including 1 conspiracy count and obstructing official proceedings under this clause right here. 1 felony count, conspiracy of defraud the United States under, and 1 felony count, conspiracy against under the rights. So we got a couple things in there that's pretty crazy. Strengths and weaknesses. This is under Jack Smith, special counsel. We got the one in Georgia, the Georgia election interference case. Woo, man, this is a lot. I wonder how much is this costing him. Like, this might be running up a lot of numbers, man. Let me see right here. Unbelievable. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. So in this one, he has charges: 1 count of violating the Racketeering, Influence, and Corruption Organization Act, 1 count of conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit a forgery in the first degree, 2 counts of false statements and writings, 2 counts of conspiracy to false statements and writings, 1 count of filing false documents, 1 count of conspiracy to commit filing documents. Ooh. The indictment accuses 19 named defendants. Damn. This is pretty heavy right here. So the classified documents case, the U.S. District Court of Southern District of Florida. This one's kind of interesting, especially since he was president. But this one comes up to 32 charges. Holy snap. I mean, looking at it, if you have 32 right now, 34 initially, so that's 66. Let me see, 66 plus, so we're talking about 85. So 87. So 87 indictments before the verdict. Now, I thought that was pretty crazy, guys. I wanted you guys to hear that and just be exposed to the news. I will be making some more of these political ones, exposing people like Nancy Pelosi and the government insider trading. If any questions or comments, guys, let me know. I wanted to make this, before I want to get some of the basic information out. I'm not for or against any of this stuff for this video. I wanted to just expose the news, what's happening, give you guys up to date. So that's the video, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.